Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I am your reader, Jay. These are going to be general messages for the sign of Scorpio in mid-November 2020. What is going on, Scorpio? How are you guys doing? I hope that you are doing well. All right, first, right off the bat, again, happy birthday, Scorpio. We are coming to the end of your seasons, so special happy birthday to you late Scorpios, those who are still having your days upcoming and celebrating as the season rolls on. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, a special day. Hopefully, if you're able to gather safely, okay, do so safely. But if however you're celebrating yourself, however you're celebrating your special day, I hope it is an amazing time. And still, of course, happy birthday to you, October and earlier November Scorpios. All of you with all of your stingers waving in the air. I hope it was an amazing time, okay? Also, happy Thanksgiving if you guys are going to be celebrating that holiday. Again, if you're getting together with friends and family at this time for either your birthday or the holidays, please be careful, please be safe, please take all precautions necessary because 2020 is not done doing what it's going to be doing. And the pandemic is still going on. And so, I just hope everybody makes really good choices and really takes care of themselves and those that they know and love. And just, hold on, friends. Keep fighting the fight, you know what I mean? But not, to get too much into anything. Let's just go ahead and move along, shall we? Scorpio, please remember, since this is your birthday season, you have this reading, your mid-November, your overall for November. You have your birthday reading, and also you had a live that I did this past Saturday. So if you missed any of that, make sure you check out your playlist to see those videos, okay? But let's just go ahead and get rolling with the rest of it, or the regular spiel that we do with the opening. So, Scorpio, if you want anything from me, it's in the description box. The timestamp is down there. Information on how to purchase a personal reading with me is down there. Any questions before you purchase, just email me at the same address. I'll answer you as soon as I can. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, the name is EmpathicFire Tarot, and the link for that is down below. All day today, things have been falling to the floor, so let's grab what that was past these wires, which we gotta be careful of, because we could knock things over if we... Yikes. Come on, there it is. Okay, so that was the... Oh, Jesus. Sorry about that. This is interesting start to your reading. Anyway, Knight of Cups in reverse here, so maybe some of you are having misgivings in your emotions, misgivings in messages of your emotions or messages of love. But I would crosshairs, or not crosshairs, what do you call that? Crosswires, thank you. Miscommunication or things not moving forward is what that really felt like, okay? But that's not where the reading starts. Let's see if we can get an actual beginning to your reading. So messages for Scorpio, please, in mid-November. I want to see messages for Scorpio in mid-November 2020, please. Messages for Scorpio, please, mid-November 2020. What was that? Freaking roll of my shoulder? That was freaking weird. All right, they want me to start. So let's see what's coming out for you guys. Scorpio, mid-November, 8 of Swords, okay. Mid-November, Scorpio, please. What? Gotta pause because that went everywhere. 1 second. All right, Scorpio, I apologize about that. Several things fell out. So Queen of Pentacles, Emperor, the Devil, the Sun, and 5 of Swords. Generally not so goodness is what that feels like. This feels like a bunch of mess, basically. And, the energy that I'm feeling as I'm shuffling, the energy that I felt before I cut the camera on in your meditation, feels a little messy. I gotta be honest with you. But let's continue to get you a solid spread here on the table before we can actually begin the reading. One more time, please, for Scorpio. Messages in mid-November 2020, please. Messages for Scorpio in mid-November. Thank you. No, she's back. Queen of Pentacles. One more, please. I'd like at least one more. Thank you. And the 5 of Cups. Jesus Christ. All right, let's do it. Eight of Swords, Queen of Pentacles, Five of Cups. I feel some of you feel really trapped by your circumstances, trapped by a person, trapped in your own mindset, your own ego is what they're giving me. Trapped by your own. What is that? Oh, Jesus, that's not. There we go. That's why. This is. I swear I prepared. Anyway, so feeling trapped possibly by other people or circumstances around you, but then some of you feel trapped by your own design, like something that you've set up for yourself, a path, a trajectory that you've placed yourself on previous to this moment, years ago, months ago in your life, wherever or whenever it happened, and feeling beholden to sort of what you've already signed on for, okay? Eight of Swords, no escape. But again, you know, traditionally, we often interpret the Eight of Swords as a self-made prison. Any prison that you make for yourself, you can thus unmake it, you can undo it, you can demolish it. Why won't you focus? There we go. So if you are in some type of mental prison, or you do feel kind of bogged down in the situation, that could just be a perception, and it's not necessarily the most objective point of view, which is of course a hard, tall order for anybody, not just Scorpio. But I feel it feels like a little doom and gloomy, if I'm honest. It feels a little doom and gloomy. It feels a little like there is no alternative path, there is no way out of this, or there is no solution that I can think of. Not me, I'm speaking as if I was you, Scorpio. Or, you know, it can be someone you're dealing with. It could be vice versa. This could be, or excuse me, this is a general reading, so it could be someone else in your life. But I feel as though there's just this, I don't know what's going on here, or I don't know how to untangle myself from these ropes. I don't know how to step away from these swords that are staked in the ground, which 8 of them, if this was a 3D image, right? And if we know for sure there are going to be only 8 swords in the vicinity, we could easily understand that there's nothing behind her. So there's nothing that prevents this woman from walking backwards. Interesting, walking backwards. So some of you might not know or believe or have the confidence or feel it's a correct move, or a legit move to walk backwards. What do I mean? Walk something back. Take it back. Renege, right? Now, that's not me saying do it. It's just you haven't thought of it, right? Or you don't think it would work. Or people around you might be telling you that. Or, you know, in terms, for some of you, there might be consequences to it. Maybe that's why you don't want to do it. It's like it's too risky. I understand that. But it could be the most viable option. Again, that's not me telling you that. It's just literally, if this was a 3D image and this person says, I'm trapped, I can't get out, I don't know where to go. Like that, for some reason, this person knows in front of me are 8 swords that if I walk towards them, I'm going to slice my little toesies off, right? And then if this was a 3D image, we would easily say, just walk backwards. There's nothing behind you, and you can walk that way. Or for God's sakes, just walk laterally, like sidestep it a couple of feet, and there will be no more swords, because literally there are only 8, right? So there's alternative pathways to go, but you don't see that, blindfolded, or you feel bound to stand and be where you are for whatever reason. Again, I'm not saying do the things that you're afraid to do or cautious about doing, or come with consequences. You must make up your own mind. You must, use your own discernment. What I'm sensing here is, though, the limitation of, well, there's nothing I can do. Is that literally true? Is that objectively true? Outside of your own perception, there are many options. There's always more options than we, the individual, can think of on our own. But again, I'm not telling you to do anything because I don't know your business. I don't know the details of what's going on here. And like I said, some of you walking backwards, making lateral moves, literally to get around these 8 swords that are preventing your progress or making you feel stuck in a situation, might come with consequences. And I'm not, again, without knowing the details, not knowing you personally, I can't tell you that the risk is worth it, that the consequences that you might incur are worth it. That's your decision. That's for you to decide. Yeah. I gotta tell you, I'm a little agitated because I think again, whatever is wanting, because eights are about change, transformation, indicates basically a lot of times the eights come with, sort of fees, so to speak. Fees, right? You must give something to get. You must give to get. You must do, make actions, make decisions, move and change course or whatever to get what you're after, right? You have to put in some type of work. You can't just stay there, stay stagnant, stay stuck, and say, I want something different, or I hope my situation changes, and be in a, listen, this attitude, this position, this Eight of Swords is like really helpless. That's the feeling helpless, feeling hopeless. But that, again, objectively, from the outside perspective, because like what I'm looking at in my mind's eye, what I feel, that's kind of funny. I've said this before in my videos. In this room, I look up into the ceiling, like in the corners of the room, and then directly across from me is a pair of windows. It's like looking out the window and seeing what I see. From where I'm standing, there's plenty of options as the reader. Just I can energetically feel that for you, but from where you're standing on the other side of the window, Scorpio, or whoever this is, there are no options. And that's the difference of perspective. Now, you do with that what you will, yeah? Queen of Pentacles after that, Earth sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Now that I said it, maybe air signs have a play in here, but this is Earth sign energy, so Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn could be dealing with Earth signs or air signs or any sign. It really doesn't matter. But here we have someone who, on their face, okay, on their face is an ally to you, is a resource to you. But any person who has the resource, has the means to give, also has the means to not give, correct? It's all a matter of what they choose to do. And I feel like someone is doing that. You see how she's holding the pentacle in her hand? And let's say it wasn't a coin. Let's say it was some feed. Let's say it was some food. And we see the rabbit down there on the ground, sort of waiting, anticipating, right? If the Queen of Pentacles chooses to hold that little pentacle biscuit, let's call it a biscuit or something, in her hand that the rabbit wants and never give it, that's her choice. And she has the power or the stature, really, the physical stature to do it. The rabbit, less than a foot tall versus this 5 foot, maybe even 6 foot tall woman, whatever. There's no way, most likely, that this rabbit could get what this person has. It's up to the Queen of Pentacles to give. Now, what am I talking about? Is that you? Maybe. Some of you Scorpios, you could be that person. But I think some of you feel like this rabbit. Feel like you're waiting on the resources and what another person has to give to you. And traditionally speaking, the Queen of Pentacles, I keep saying she and all that stuff. We could, the gender is non-specific, okay? It's a general reading. Whoever this person is, male or female, earth sign or not, whatever, it doesn't matter. I feel a lot of you if I'm honest, give your power to this person. You rely on them. And not to say like not to say you're dependent or, well, okay. They're like, bop, 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 bop. I was going to say some of you are not codependent, and they're like, A lot of you are codependent on this person, or vice versa, or whatever it is, okay? But what I mean to say is, it's not like you rely on this person to do everything. It's not that you can't make moves or make decisions for yourself. There's just key things that this person gives to you, provides to the situation, resources. Again, because it's the Queen of Pentacles, perhaps it's money, perhaps it's something of value, perhaps this is like somebody who, like I'm getting like the sense of like someone who borrows from this person with contingencies or conditions, right? So it feels like a could literally be someone who's given you a private loan, like a family friend or family member rather. So you could be in personal debt to a cousin or an auntie or, you know, your brother, your sister, whatever. Like they gave you like a small loan of like, you know, $2,000, and they, you know, it's like beholden. I used that word here, or I said it earlier. Behold, it's like you're beholden to another person. And what they give or what they gave was needed at the time, was appreciated or is still appreciated, but it leaves you or someone feeling very stuck, like having to constantly repay or constantly work for, earn what this person has to give. And again, like I was saying when I first encountered this energy, that is really discretionary. This person, whoever they are in your life, friend, family, lover, it does not matter, long term, short term, knowing them, could have known them since you were born, could have known them the last 2 years of your life, I don't care. They have the ability to turn it on and turn it off. The tap, the resources, the things that they give to you. Again, the natural inclination when the Queen of Pentacles is in high vibe, is very nurturing, is very giving, but doesn't give to a fault, doesn't give to the point of depleting the self. When in low vibration, and it feels like this person is mid to low, I gotta be honest, this person's energy is mid to low. When it's like that, it's conditional, it's temporary, it's based on their temperament. If they're in a good mood, everybody eats. If they're feeling like they're giving, if they want to express their love and care and affection for you, you can expect all kinds of gifts. You can expect all kinds of material, very materialistic also, this energy. Like this person's way of showing affection, like it could be their love language, even if they do it in a, you know, again, conditional way, which isn't the healthiest, right? Gift giving is a love language, right? So they could really, you know, when they're on and they're appreciative of you and they are trying to show you affection, they give gifts to you out of nowhere. You know, Scorpio, it's your birthday season. Did this person give you a gift? Were they available to you in a material way, in a physical way? Then they were really happy with you, or you know this about their energy, or this is you, because again, for some of you, this is you. So it's very on and off. I can give, or I could not. And it's all up to this person's own temperament, their own disposition in the moment. Very in the moment. That's why it's mid to low vibe, because this person is swayed by their own, you know, how they basically wake up in the morning or what transpires during their day. You know, another way to put it, this person can be moody, okay? And based on their mood determines how they feel. So the little rabbit's waiting to be fed from the hand of this Queen of Pentacles, and even look at it. She's not even acknowledging the rabbit. The head is turned away, not even looking in the direction of the little creature that might very well need or want what she has to offer. That's, and I did say that word earlier. Some of you, this is a codependent relationship you have with someone, friend, family, lover, I don't care who it is. And that type of existence is way, way, way unhealthy. And, you know, you do with that what you will, but geez. Now, final card in your opening is the Five of Cups. So, Fives are also about change. Like eights are about, again, like sort of like a transitional thing or like a transactional thing. We are beginning to move towards something else. We are beginning to sort of shift or change lanes. If we're going to be moving in the same direction, but we're just going to change, you know, move over a lane or two, something like that. Fives are about changes, challenges, can be chaotic energy, but I don't feel this is chaos in many of your cases. In some, maybe, but in most of your cases, it's not chaos. But it certainly is a challenge, and it's an emotional challenge. And you know, for some of you, this is like, you know, to go back to the Queen of Pentacles just for a second, that image, or excuse me, that archetype of Queen of Pentacles, a nurturer, a very natural nurturer, or somebody in a position in our lives, a role in our lives where we expect to be nurtured, aka a mother or a father, but since it showed up as a queen, it might come with more feminine energy, which might tend to be, for some of you, a mother relationship, a dynamic you have with your own mother, or your position as a mother with your own children, or father. You know, you can change the gender around however you want, or at least people who feel motherly to you, which can be aunties, grandmothers, older sisters, could be just relative, or excuse me, neighborhood friends, like a good friend from, you know, church or some shit like that. It doesn't matter, okay? And I feel there's a sensitivity towards this person, not wanting to disturb them, not wanting to upset them, but at the same time knowing this is not where. That's like, oh, that's so sad, Scorpio. For some of you, you're beholden to this person purely for what they give you on a material level, on a 3D level. They provide you, like, again, I'm getting like the sense of like a loan. Either they loan you money, or they give you money regularly, or they give you possessions or gifts, or they have something and it's in their name. So like you could drive the car, for an example. You could use it every day to get to and from work. You could use it, you know, for leisurely purposes. But the person who pays the note, the person who pays the insurance, the person whose name is on the title is this person. It's not really your vehicle. They own it. You just happen to drive it every day. Does that make sense? So it's like knowing that everything that exists between you and this person is conditional, is a contingency. It's not solid. It's not, dare I say, real. Because the five of cups is longing for something that isn't there, or is even, well, beyond longing, it's also mourning, or beyond. It's longing and mourning, missing, feeling melancholy about what you don't have. And since this is cups, this is emotional, right? Emotional capacity, fulfillment, contentment, happiness, joy, all those more positive emotions. Some of that is missing, or a good portion of that is missing. Listen, don't know your life, don't know the details. And again, I think I'm most agitated because of this Eight of Swords energy, because there's someone here who's believing this is the way it is and this is the way it's always going to be, and I have no recourse, I have no alternatives, and that's simply not true. And that's also backed up, that sentiment is backed up because of the Five of Cups, because someone doesn't know, like, they're lamenting. This is sad, honestly. This is very sad. Hopefully it's not your message, you know. I don't like to deliver messages like these, but this is what has come out. If this resonates with you, let's see what else we can get here, because I don't think anything needs to be clarified. So let's just get additional information regarding this situation for Scorpio, please. If you do not resonate with this message, count yourself lucky. If you're watching someone else go through this, send them help, love, and support them, or give them love, support in whatever way you can. But let's see what else is going on, okay? For Scorpio, let's see some more information regarding the situation, please. More information regarding the situation. Breadcrumbing, that's the other word that we could use for the Queen of Pentacles. And if so, that's narcissistic behavior, breadcrumbing a person. Ugh. More information regarding the situation for Scorpio, please. Now there's silence here, is what they're kind of giving me with no cards popping out. So now there's like a long silence, and damn, 3 cards all at once. Is that right? Okay. Well, what do we got? We've got the King of Swords, the Three of Swords, and Judgment. Okay. Okay. Listen. Massive, massive, massive ending. Possibly very brutal ending, or some type of pivotal point. If it's not an ending, something very pivotal is unfolding, will unfold, has unfolded. You're all on different timelines here. But King of Swords, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy, Three of Swords in the middle there, and Judgment, that's your secondary major arcana card, Scorpio. Number one, look at what's depicted here. You guys have been playing, not playing like haha playing, but like playing as in like strategy, which I have said for many of my Scorpio readings for like the past 2 years. I mean, I've been doing this channel since like spring 2018. So I'm going to say 70%. Just about. That's a guess. I don't, I haven't sat down and looked over the history of my channel like that. But I'm going to say like 60 to 70% of the messages I've delivered to Scorpio over these 2 years or 2+ years that I've been doing this channel have mentioned at some point long-term strategic planning or dealing with people who are like this. Deep, deep intellectual types, or I shouldn't say intellectual types, like, like scholastic intellectual, like Jeopardy trivia type of intellect, like intellectual in the sense of like mental chess. Like this King of Swords is playing chess, and I feel you're dealing with someone who does it on a mental, like mind games. Like I mentioned this fucking word 2 seconds ago, a narcissist. This King of Swords could be also the same person who's in the Queen of Pentacles. Or that's you and somebody and you mix your energies and you're kind of blending together, coming out energetically as very similar. Regardless, there's someone here who plays the long game, who uses manipulative tactics. Like, okay, in the very back, you see those swords above his head? 3 swords, by the way, so we're going to probably mention that because the 3 of swords comes up next. So it's like trophies, it's like prizes, or it's like, again, resources that can be given, can be interacted with, or they can hang on the shelf. And someone chooses when they behave a certain way, how they speak in this situation versus how they speak. And this person is crafty. This is very interesting that this King of Swords is coming out like this. This person is crafty, manipulative, possibly, again, narcissistic. It's coming through really heavily. And I hate using that word because I feel it's very overplayed at this time. But at the same time, the woo-woo in me, the spiritualist in me, what I've studied and what I'm aware of is like, oh, well, that kind of makes sense because 2020 is really, in its own way, a sort of reckoning. It's not the reckoning, okay? But it is sort of a reckoning / awakening period. And when things come to light, when things are shifting on a cosmic level for the entire collective, right? People will show their true colors. And I think that that's what's going on here. And that's why it's so apparent or so intense. Let's say it that way. So intense. Whereas for years, possibly, like I was saying with the tone of Scorpio readings that I've done on my channel, for years, you could have lived with this person, dealt with this person, worked with this person, whatever. And it was tolerable. The ways in which they would be sort of, on and off with you, sometimey with you, fair weather friend with you. It was like tolerable or it was expected, but it didn't torture you or you weren't torturous to someone else because again, some of you Scorpios, this is your energy. But now that 2020 has come in like a fucking hellstorm and really turned up the sort of the fire or not turned up the fire, but like really, thank you, exposed, shone a light on these people. They are now playing hardball, whoever this is, and they're playing for keeps, and they're not being in the broadest sense fair. But then again, if they're a narcissist, that doesn't even compute to them. It doesn't even apply to them because they have a personality disorder, right? So I don't know who this is in your life. I don't know if this is you and who you're dealing with, but this is someone who's a bit of a piece of work, and it's kind of fun for them. I gotta be honest with you. Like watching other people squirm or knowing that other people are dependent on them, codependent with them, it gets them off. Possibly because, well, not even possibly, because it's normal to them. That's how they're used to expressing themselves. That's how they're used to behaving in relationships. Now, the interesting part about that is, oh man, see, here you go, guys, getting the longer readings. 3 of Swords. So there is loss here 2 times over, because what follows after it is the Judgment card. So there's loss here. Something I'm going to tell you. Many of you guys are going through a very heart-wrenching, if not heartbreaking situation. Not all of you. You know, again, this is a general collective reading, so there's tons of Scorpios where this isn't their story. But for those where this resonates, many of you are going to be suffering some type of heartache, heartbreak, and loss. And or loss. Thank you. And or loss is what they're saying. And I gotta be honest, it's shitty. It's really shitty. It might call back to, in this specific reading, what I mentioned earlier, taking the option that that has consequences to it, that requires some type of fee. Again, I'm getting this fee. Like maybe some of you are literally having to pay a fee in order to get some type of result, to get to some type of turning point. Because again, I feel like this is pivotal. I don't think it's necessarily a hard ending. I think it's a turning point. I don't think that after you make certain moves or after this person makes certain moves that it's the end all be all of your connection or relationship. I think it's just going to change. And I think I said that earlier. Even if you're moving in the same direction, you would just be changing a lane or two, right? The change of lane, the fee paid, or the other thing that they're giving me is sacrifice. The sacrifice that might need to be made is very hurtful to the self and other people. I gotta be honest. If it's you that makes these changes, if it's you that pays these fees, if it's you that incurs these consequences or is making these sacrifices, it's going to hurt you too. But it's also going to hurt and be uncomfortable for the other person, right? But it's sort of like, again, what is necessary to get this. Now, the Judgment card in your reading right now, Scorpio, is coming through as like a... Gosh, I hate to put it this way, but like that, I mean, looking at the image, as you can see it, it's literally like letting go of a loved one is what I'm getting here. Now, I don't know if that's literally what you have to do. And hopefully if it is, it's not in this form, because this is like very, life or death sort of depiction. But it is sort of like letting go with love, releasing final releases or final endings. And that sort of is Scorpio's bag, 8th house energy. Not it's your bag like it's like you love it, but it's something that the 8th house represents, which is transformational endings, right? Because it's not that, I've mentioned this before, so I'm going to try and sum it up very quickly. The moment you let something go, release something, let something quote unquote die, something else immediately begins, whether we can perceive it that way or not, whether we recognize that or not. That is what the process is. This is not the death card, but it is giving me that little sprinkling of that sentiment. More to the point of what this card is representing to me is releasing a loved one, knowing that it's all going to be okay. Because where you're releasing this loved one to, whatever, or it doesn't have to be a person either. It could be sort of a behavior or sort of a habit, right? Releasing a habit, releasing things that you normally do, a condition in a relationship, right? Letting that go, knowing that it's for the best. Because like I'm seeing here like this woman cradling this child and basically sort of knowing the child will be in good hands, because on the other side, like presuming, and I hate to, speak in these terms, and I hope it's not true for any of you, but if you're releasing a loved one through actual death, there has to be some type of, well, it doesn't have to be, but I feel in this moment, some of you are unsure of what's going to happen when this person leaves. They'll be fine. I don't ever want people to just believe what I believe because I said it. That's up for you. We don't have to agree, but where I come from, how I've developed and what I've grown to in my set of beliefs is that it's just a change to go from living in this place on this earth in this condition of living in a human body to now something else. There is no ultimate ending, in my opinion, right? So that's what I feel is going on here. The change in the situation, the context, or the quality of your relationship does not end it. It changes it. And the sacrifice, the fee that needs to be paid will be painful. That is undeniable to me in this situation. That is absolutely throughout this reading. I feel it. It hurts deep, but is ultimately necessary if you ever want to get out of this. If you ever want to leave or no longer be beholden to someone who's manipulative or conditional in the way in which they express love and affinity towards you, in the ways in which they support you. Today they support you because they think you're the best thing since sliced bread, and then tomorrow, because they're in a different mood, suddenly you could go kick rocks because they no longer care about you and what you need in your life. You know what I mean? That's a very hostile way to live. That's a hostile way to interact with people, is it not? Like, that's exhausting to you. Who would want that? And if we're talking about a loved one, family, friend, lover, or whatever, that's not, I don't know about you. That's just not cool. All right. I'm just going to give you one final card because I don't want to end on that note. So like, let's just get some final, I don't want to call it advice, but I guess we might as well. I guess I'm going to call it advice. So what is the final advice here for Scorpio? Please show me in this situation. One card of advice for Scorpio in this situation. Scorpio, I wish you luck in something like this. This is not easy. This is crazy. Oh, boy. Listen. Ten of Cups in reverse. That's an ultimate sacrifice. For some of you, this is family. This is the family you were born into, or the family that you created for yourself. And in some of your cases, this was the family you were hoping to create. It never really got off the ground, yeah? You got to let that go. And that's really, really, like, take that with a grain of salt. I don't know how far that message is meant to go. I don't know to what depth or to what level that is meant to go. But that's what this feels like. It feels like watching your best laid intentions sort of melt away. And sort of kind of what the Judgment card is about, starting over, possibly from scratch. That's really heavy. That's not for everybody, clearly, or at least not to the again, the level or the severity that I might be expressing it at. But I really feel for some of you, could be that, again, going back to this dependent relationship somewhere in your life where maybe for years, someone has been your material, financial lifeline. And now that you sever those ties or you change lanes a little bit, maybe more of that burden or that necessity falls on your shoulders more primarily. And that's the reset that I'm talking about. That's the sacrifice. And that's really hard. If you're used to having someone support you or provide for you in a certain way, even if it was, codependent as hell, and even if they were a narcissist, you just become conditioned to it and it's normalized. I feel stepping away from that and rewriting that, rediscovering, or for the first time discovering how you do that on your own or how you do that with new people in your life or new circumstances around you, that is going to be a hell of a revival in your life with the death, or excuse me, not the death card, the transformation card, the Judgment card. That is a huge revival, because that's also what Judgment is about, revivals, bringing back up what was once gone. You know what I mean? So there's lots of layers to this. We're going to end it because these are not meant to be long. But Scorpio, look at you. You guys average very long readings from me because you have freaking messages like this. Anyway, Scorpio, if you like this reading, please hit the like button. If it resonated in your life and you want to share how it does, feel free to drop a comment down below. I love to read your comments. They're always so fun. And feel free to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Again, guys, make sure you check out your playlist for Scorpio in 2020 to see your birthday messages, your earlier messages this month, as well as your live that I did for you guys recently, okay? And if you want to get at me for a personal reading, the information is in the description box. Scorpio, I thank you guys so much for watching. Take care.